How's it going? Sith Holocron and a Donger deck discussion from the Dongers of Runeterra. How you all doing? Hope you're having a good time. I'm having a great time. Because the one thing I like doing the most in this, if you haven't figured out by the amount of deck videos I put out, is I love constructing decks. Brand new decks, some are trash, some are okay, some are really, really good. But my favourite thing to do is try and go into the meta, like really hard into the meta. And this is probably the meta right here. So there's Undying decks and Scouts and, you know, I says, Easy Karma, Twisted Fate, Easy, Demacia type things, Fiora, Shen, meta decks. Let's take a wee step back. My favourite thing to do is to go off the wall and go, what the hell is really good that'll stop nearly all of these most of the time. Now, by most of the time, I mean like at least give me a 50% chance of beating all of these and deep and all that other sort of stuff. But not the normal sort of pairings that you would normally have. So because I like off meta decks and I think there's an awful lot of really good science behind the fact that playing off meta into the meta that we all know and love, so we know how this deck plays at stalls, we know how this deck goes out stalls and frostbites. This is all Scouts, this kills itself to win, this is all burst spells, same with that, to stop people dying, keep Fiora alive and win in 3-4 rounds. I've built this with two champions who don't get very much play, and the two champions are Yasou and Kata. Now, why the hell have I put these two together when they seriously just can't work? Well, yes, they can. So let us look at Yasou, and I'm only running 5. I'm only running 2 Katarinas, and you will see 2s all the way through this deck, because it's a toolbox deck. There's only one, and we could replace Legion General, and we could do this with a third Katarina, but I'm going to show you why Legion General is a one-of, because it's really damn good. So, here's the thought process. Stunning levels Yasou. If you stun or recall 5 times in a single game, he levels up, and then as soon as anything after that is stunned or recalled, he's real good. He's real good. Let me show you how good he is when he's leveled. When you stun or recall an enemy, it's struck. Hello. And he's doing 5 damage. Not 4, because he was a 4-3, and then a couple of patches ago he got bumped up. Now he's a 5-5. Yep. This is all good. Bigger health, nastier unit, all that sort of stuff. Out of which, if you get a second one, you get a Steel Tempest, and that's a great card for stunning an attacking enemy, because then you can hit them when they're trying to hit you. That is excellent. So let's go through the deck nice and quick. Obviously, we're in Ionia, and obviously we are in Noxus. So we have 3 guiles, 1 mana cost, stun an enemy, does what it says on the tin, and 2 recalls, because if something's going to die, we can recall, and both of those for 1 mana aid Yasou's level up, which is pretty much the whole thing of the game. We have key critical cards, and these are all standard 3s. The Flayed Blade Twirler is quick attack, but if you stun or recall a unit, it gets a +2, so it can go very, very quickly from a 1-3 to a 9-3 real fast. Like, real fast. It's a brilliant card in a stunning recall deck, and it only costs 2 mana, so really efficient and can keep going. The good thing about it is you can always recall it if it's about to die, or anything else that you want to come back, and that's pretty good as well. House Spider is also a 3-of for the simple reason that you get 2 units, a 2-2 and a 1-1 for 2 mana. We like to be a little bit wide and just to use them as chump blockers, because that's all they're really useful for. But they're that useful. We have 3 of them, and then we have Yasuo's own spell. We've added 2. So if you have an extra copy of the champion, as I said about a minute ago, you have got ways of stunning attacking enemies, which will level up, guess who? Yasou. That's why there's 2 there. And then probably one of my favourite spells in the entire game is Transfusion. So you deal 1 to an ally to give another ally 2 power, 2 health. That's phenomenal. Will keep your units alive, can end a game, will destroy a unit that you really need to go. If somebody pulls in something like India Braum, and as he's been really stupid and has taken a 3-1 blade twirler or 3-3 blade twirler, so he gets his 3-3 thing. No. If you have another unit that can take it, even if you probably can't, deal 1 to an ally, make him 5, just check his mana. But you kill off Braum, that's part of their deck gone. And then another phenomenal unit, Arachnoid Sentry, fantastico. Play it, just stun an enemy. Oh, I don't want that creature flying towards me. That's absolutely fine. It's now stunned and helping up Yasou. Now, we're only running 2 Katarina. Why not 3? Why not take something off? Here's the thing. Katarina says when it's struck once, it levels up, and then you recall it. So recalling is, it doesn't go back to you like on the pitch. It doesn't stay in the game. It's back in your hand. So if you ever played real card games, you play them from your hand. You don't want to get clogged up with a whole load of Katarinas. Like, you really don't. She's a champion. She hasn't got anything else. Like, her thing is, once you hit it, you get a Blade's Edge, which costs 1 to deal 1 to anything, which is really good. And then there's the Death Lotus, deal 1 to all battling units. And this is her level up one. Shuffle a Katarina into your deck. So that is pretty damn good. I mean, that is, you know, you get a fleeting Blade's Edge. You get this for free. This is her backup. Deal 1 to every single unit and shuffle a Katarina back. So that's pretty decent, and that's why we're only running 2. But we want to stun him. Stun him. Concussive Palm for 4 is phenomenal. Like, it is absolutely phenomenal. That's why we've got 3, because you get a Tail of the Dragon, and the Tail of the Dragon is a 3-2, and if you recall it, then it goes right back into this again. That's just fantastic mana efficiency. Really, really, really good. 2 denies, because we are not wanting things to get popped by things, so 2 denies is probably the right way to play it. And 2 Spirit Refuge will also give you lifesteal, and if you have it on a champion or something really big, which we have things that will come across later, if your Noxus is going down the wrong way, instead of saying up where we want it to be around 15-16 most of the game, this will bounce you right back up again. And then obviously our 3 Yasous, because we want at least 1, and we want it probably in our opening hand. That's a hard mulligan for me. And I'll tell you the mulligan at the end. The deck code for this is also in the pinned comments, and so is our entry for free to join the Dongers of Runeterra Discord, where we discuss all things Runeterra and hundreds of other things as well. And then the last couple of cards, bit interesting. Intimidating Roar, fantastic, can level Yasou if he's on the board almost right away, unless you're playing Freljord and you might only get like 2 maybe, so maybe not the best, but everything else all good, really, really all good. Legion General is a one-of, that's the flex spot. In my mind, it's really good. But there are other cards that we could put in that will again aid our win condition, and one of them is Decisive Maneuver, which is this card. So we could stun an enemy for 5 and give all allies +2 attack, which is pretty good. But we're stunning that much that this guy is never going to come out as a 4-4. He is going to come out as like a 7-7, an 8-8, a 9-9. I've even had him come out as a 10-10. And that's enormous. And that is almost impossible to deal with, as he's also fearsome, which is just great. If he was overwhelmed, it would be phenomenal. But he's a 5 cost. He's not a endure. So we'll play with him, and we'll probably give Decisive Maneuver a go as well. Which is pretty good. And we're running 2 Will of Ionias. I don't give a monkeys about it being 5. It's really good. It will remove the thing you absolutely positively have to get off the other side of the board. And if you can remove that, either while it's attacking or they've spent all their cash and you've got to fire it out, you get away for a round. Even better if they've thrown it out and they've got nothing to stop you, then just ping it back into their hand. And if you've got stuff for an open attack the next turn before they even get to drop a card, just fire everything out, can win games. And in the last 2, just again, it's all for Yasou. We're all in on Yasou, but Katarina's our second win condition, because Well, I'll show you again in a wee second. The Minotaur is brilliant for 6, that's why there's 3 of them. Stun's the weakest unit, that's fantastic. And Yone is 7, same stats, but you get to choose who gets stunned, which can be hypercritical. Like really, really good. So the reason why Katarina is in the deck is because I wanted to make a deck with champions that aren't seeing an awful lot of play, but people seem to forget that once you play her after she's leveled, and remember, it takes 1 strike. She's quick attack. She's not going to die unless somebody, like, you know, mystic shots her or does a thermal beam or something like that. You rally, which in this deck is bonkers. Like in most decks is bonkers. You normally pay 3 if you're playing Demacia to rally, or you're playing 5 to hit twice with Garen to get rally at the start of every, you know. It's a underused, hugely underused, really efficient way of sticking in more damage and clearing boards. So that is my Stun'em deck. I think this is really good into the current meta. I think when people are playing Karmas and Fioras, all that sort of stuff, it does not take too much for a leveled up Yasou to take off absolutely everything across the board. I'm having so much fun with this deck. It is fantastic. So I'm going to click done, and then I'm going to click the clipboard to put it into the pinned comments. Come and join us at the Dongers of Runeterra, and as you know it, please, if you like the video, a thumbs up is really, really helpful. Thank you very much. Subscribe, it goes straight into your inbox and you can watch it at your leisure, and we always say the same thing at the end of every video. Hope you enjoyed it. Dong is out.